banned forever. But why is this a bad strategy? It's, and now it's not really that bad of a strategy. But I was gonna, the correct answer, I think, to that question is that it's a bad strategy because we could have gotten a Book of Revelations or something like that, a Satanic Bible from our library, which would have protected us from taking damage and thus guaranteed us a deal with the devil. But we got our deal with the devil anyway. We got Incubus, 2 evil upgrades, which actually is kind of nice because it means that if we pick up Black Feather, we can get almost like 2/3 of a small rock's worth of damage out of it right now. It's a little bit of a roundabout way to classify damage. It's a 0.6 if you prefer it in a more arithmetic-focused fashion. But at the same time, that's actually like really meaningful. Now, what are the odds that we come across Black Feather? Not necessarily enormous, but if we're not in love with our spacebar item and our library doesn't give us anything that's substantially better, if it is indeed a library at all, oh, I didn't need to put down 2 bombs there. Then, who knows, man? Maybe we'll end up going to the shop, Mom's Box of Trinkets, jam on that a few times, all of a sudden, you know, Bob's your uncle, you got Black Feather and you're using it properly. Yeah. You know what I like about Isaac, and I think I've said this many times before, is that I keep getting older and he keeps staying the same age. No, it's, I like in Isaac that, unlike Gungeon, and this is, don't take this as, oh, Northern Lion slams Enter the Gungeon or something like that, because it's not what it's intended to be. I like both games, and I think that Gungeon has a few things over Isaac that I would like. For example, dodge roll is a really fun mechanic, and sometimes when I come back to Isaac, I'm like, man, I wish I could dodge roll right now. However, I like that even relatively inconsequential passive items, like, for example, the matchbook, or even safety pin, 2 items that conveniently we just picked up right now, have kind of overarching consequences that could actually make them more interesting. Most of the time, they're just going to be what they are. But some of the time, you know, we at least have that hope that we can hold on to. Bob's are on his. Probably worse than Mr. Boom, actually. We have that hope that we can hold on to that eventually, like, they might pay for themselves in a way that is more than just the sum of their parts. Like, for example, 2 evil upgrades also allowing us to get some damage, which is really a novel strat, I think. So, we have the Chariots, we have the Devil, we have the Sun, and we have Hagalaz. I think we will use Hagalaz right here, and then we'll walk out and walk back in just to see if there's any consumables, or maybe we created a black market or something like that, but it doesn't look like we did. So do you take the Sun card, do you take the Devil card, or do you take the Chariot card? I think you probably take the Sun. And I got lucky to pick it up there on the first pick, but you take the Sun, rewind it back, a little junk about the shit that make your booty go smack, and you feel pretty good about it, I think. Especially if we end up on an XL floor next time. We have the ability to kind of see where we should be going. Let's say we have Curse of the Lost, which is effectively like a hard counter. It's not going to allow us to use the Sun card at all, except as a death substitute, which honestly... Ooh, that was very lucky. Honestly, I may try to take advantage of that if we come across a big room. I don't mind using the Sun card as a death card, even though it's unlikely to be the best option for us here. You know, the other thing I think that D8 did for us was it gave us a really high... Maybe this is due to range, and it's like a subset of range, but it gave us really high tier height, which is strange. It's kind of the way that Tapeworm works, if I remember correctly. Tapeworm works by just making your tier height enormous. And as a result, that can lead to weird situations where for like... Oh, that was really bad. Where for some enemies, like, or for some permutations of tiers, you just can't hit anything because you're actually shooting above them. Not sure if that's been, you know, quote-unquote fixed or whatever. It might not even be considered a negative thing. It might just be emergent gameplay. But yeah, I mean, I like... Well, actually, I love both Gungeon and Isaac. I do think Gungeon has the edge in, like, moment-to-moment satisfaction of gameplay, but, you know, I have 1/20th the amount of time in that game as I have in Isaac, so maybe that'll lose its luster eventually. But I have to keep coming back to Isaac's ability to generate these passive permutations and combinations and synergies and stuff like that Gungeon just doesn't have quite yet, but may eventually get in the future. These games don't have to exist in competition with one another, you know? Rebirth and Afterbirth are... Well, I guess Afterbirth's not quite a year old, but they've been around for a while, you know. They've got their entrenched audience. Gungeon is just its new hotness. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. They can both exist. I think as people who play games, we're like hardwired to be, you know, competitive and, you know, distill things down to this state of like, what's the best roguelite ever? I said Isaac, I said Gungeon, you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. Dude, that we can live in peace and harmony here. I'm not just trying to be all, free love about it or anything like that, but what's the predilection towards trying to make sure everybody knows that I've outlined the logical agreement, or logical argument, I should say, for why this is the best, why this sucks, why you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're gonna trust the guy who doesn't like Spec Ops: The Line? One of the most hardest hitting pathoses in the league? I've been on this subject before. I blame part of our Western education. We spend every waking English class in middle school, high school, and some of college as well, depending on what kind of English classes you're taking, writing these argumentative essays. Kind of distills in you the idea that, what's the point in life? Well, it's to shame people in arguments and look like you toasted them, and then, get a little hit of serotonin and move on with your life. In actuality, most people are pretty okay with you as long as you're just like a fairly nice person. Hey, dude. I saw Thor 2 on the weekend. I think it's my favorite Marvel movie. Actually, good sir, the Captain America franchise, directed by the Russo brothers, has produced Marvel's best work, and I've prepared a full 5-point list on why you are. Now you just say, cool, dude, I'm glad somebody likes Thor, because, I think he was great as part of an ensemble cast. Not my personal favorite in the standalone films, but that's okay. People gotta lighten up a little bit, man. People gotta learn to live and let live a little bit with respect to inconsequential things in particular. Ooh, baby, you love your way. Guppy's Tale. And the Pact. We will not take Betrayal, not just because we're getting slightly low on HP, but also because Betrayal, I think, is a pretty bad item, all things considered. And certainly not worth the HP that we would spend to get it. Do I like Tapeworm? It's kind of interesting. Is our only key for Infamy a good trade? I don't think it's bad. Like, if I use this key to get to the item room instead and I got Infamy, would I be happy or would I be sad? I wouldn't be over the moon, but I'd probably be like 50-50. I'd be like, this is okay. I like opening these golden chest rooms more and more lately, actually, because there's a huge barrier to entry here. 4 keys, especially on the 4th floor, is a pretty tall ask. But if you get lucky, you open up one, you get some consumables and a key, already you started to make money on that. So I'm hoping that maybe we can make the same thing happen here. Maybe get a key when we finish. Nope, that's all right. It's okay. Can't bomb our way into any special rooms either, unfortunately. So we'll save our key until we get to the secret room. Sorry, save our Mr. Boom until we get to the secret room. So let's take out this big room. Gotta say, anything that ups up our damage, is already gonna be awesome for us because I've played this game before and sort of understand how the curve of that works. But also is gonna be like 1.5 times as good as it would normally be because of the fact that we got our Incubuddy backing us up. Thought for sure I was gonna get hit there. Okay, you know what? I'd actually like to just do this room and then put this bomb down. Possibly get these enemies killed at the same time. Okay, well, didn't quite work out. That's alright. Bad Tomo Fly's so freaking tanky, man. So I'm gonna get 3 cents. Not at all what I was looking for. Definitely in the market for a key instead, but I can't really sweat things too much here. We're kind of crushing it from a speed perspective. Like, the run is going much more quickly than you would expect. It's largely because of a very short first floor, to be fair, but Guppy's Tale now giving us all sorts of golden chest action, which admittedly right now is a little unwanted, but that can change. This guy's stationary, so he's probably our #1 target. There you go. And we get a key here. All right, just like I prognosticated. I guess it's just what I keyed. Doesn't really make any sense. I guess you're driving a Kia. A Kia Forte, please. I'm telling you, man. One day I'm gonna break into the jingle game with reckless abandon. You'll be in a Macy's or something, and then you'll be like, it's the best Macy's since William H. And you'll be like, there's no other line. I watched that guy when he was small time on YouTube. Now he's making his veiled William H. Macy references to a larger audience of captive shoppers. I still think that slogan could work. It's the best Macy's since William H. And I think he'd be cool with it too, because I'm not disrespecting him. I'm saying that he is a better Macy's than the department store Macy's. I know that his name's just Macy, but you know, maybe we could cover that as well. We could be like, Macy's, it's not owned by the character actor who has made his career in Fargo and Shameless. Okay, well that one needs a little bit of work, admittedly. I think I'm gonna gamble a little bit on this Joker here. Hey, a golden key. That's exquisite. It really is, because now not only are we gonna get to access at least 2 of these golden chests. I won't be able to get all 3 because I need the bomb to get the other one. That's not fair. We might get a bomb out of one of these. Got some money out of that one. Got 404, increased stat effect out of that one. I think, no, that's second hand. Second hand is increased stat effect. Let's go down here to our shop quickly. At the very least, you know, we should go to it because we have an extra, well, we have a golden key, but also we can get an extra charge on Mr. Boom, and that is fairly nice for us. Got another key as well. Now we have enough money to make it happen as well. There is still a golden chest back there. We're actually going to be, I know we said we were killing it in terms of time. We're not really killing it in terms of time anymore. We're not doing badly. Thank you, Infamy, for saving me from this nothing I've become. We're not really killing it on time anymore. In fact, we're probably going to leave this floor at like just around the right time. I'm going to blame that on not only having to do our due diligence here, but also like our speed stat itself is a little weak. Let's come back. We got a bomb. I mean, we could have blown up the statue and then gotten like a bonus 5 or 6 cents out of it. How are we going to get 6 cents out of it? That's a great question. I wasn't 100% confident saying 5, so I decided to hedge my bets and maybe look like a freaking idiot. Final golden chest. 2 more keys. I'd say well worth the time spent to walk back, considering the fact that we have Guppy's tail means that we're really going to want to crack open golden chests, or at least we're going to have the opportunity to crack open golden chests if we're given said opportunity. This golden key has changed this floor for us. It allowed us to get Steam Sale at the very least. Decent amount of consumables, and the item room, actually. Well, one of the 2. Let's see what we got here. God's Flesh. It's okay, but I still don't like crushing enemies, especially with a low speed stat. Doesn't interest me very much because of the fact that so many enemies like create bullets or creep or, you know, yada yada. It becomes a little bit of an issue, potentially. Alright. Depths 1. I like having big tiers with tier effects because it really illuminates how said tiers look. Like, we got a nice thick blue outline there. Nice thick blue vein running around the circumference of our tier right there. What are you talking about, gross imagery? You're gross. I was just talking about how thick and veiny this blue outline was. You're the one putting words in my mouth. Words in your own mouth. Thick blue veiny words. There we go. Oh, I'm a little tiny robot man. These are robots, or knights, that's it. Knights, robots, they're all the same. All part of Greek mythology. I'm joking. I know that robots actually exist. Knights, of course, just a mythical creature. Housecarls, that's where it's really at. Are you telling me that a housecarl isn't just something from the Skyrim universe? It's true. Did you know that during the, you know, the War of the Roses, the housecarls were the property owners and they largely had greater breadth of finances to purchase equipment and whatnot, and as a result found themselves being the king's warrior class. Anyway. Yo, it's your boy Norman Cantor here with a brief history of medieval England. Actually, streamer, Norman Cantor's most famous work is A Brief History of Medieval Europe, not just Britain. I would have thought that you would know that by now. Please show the late, great Norman Cantor some respect. Okay, I hate this. What? He became Rad. He hurt me when I stepped on him. I knew he was a champion, but I didn't think he was a champion of that caliber. Sure, we'll buy the map. You know what? I think we can use the pill. Speed up. That's pretty good. I'm, like, super frightened. That's okay. We don't need to worry about it. Just beat the boss, get the deal with the devil. Deal with the devil's going to give you, of course, 9 lives and Guppy's head. Become Guppy, win the run. Alright, so far so good on this plan. Pretty sure that Little Gish is going to give me an HP upgrade here. And by Little Gish, I mean Gish. I don't know why I thought Little Gish. It's not like he's guaranteed to give us Little Gish or anything like that. I mean, the good news is we're fighting a boss who we fought, you know, probably 400 times before. And that's, I doubt, an exaggeration. So we will just do the damage as is necessary, finish the job, and then snag a great deal with the devil that's not Krampus. Great deal with the devil that's not Krampus. Not Krampus, but not a good deal with the devil. We have been to our item room and we have been to our shop. I do want to go down to the next floor. There is an inherent risk. Please be Black Heart Sword. Something of the sort. Nope. Well, there could be another special room on this floor, but I really am wary about fighting champions. I do want to blow up some of these skulls, maybe get black cards or, you know, a Hierophant card or something out of them. Okay, I don't know, man. This is scary to me. Okay, this is a good room for us. So far, so good. I think we're gonna do one more room. Get Mr. Boom charged up. I hate that it has to be this big room here, but get Mr. Boom charged up. Should we spend a key to get 2 bombs? I feel like that might actually be fairly sensible. Good, good, good. Oh, not good. Good. And in fact, I think we might want to spend a key to get those 2 tarot cards. So that's what I was looking for there, is this the belabored God's Flesh play there. The Fool, the Emperor. Well, I guess you take Emperor, because it's more... I mean, it does the same thing. It teleports. But it also can speed us up and give us a chance to get the boss rush if we somehow, you know, divine that that's where we want to be in our lives, regardless. I'm going to use 2 keys here, and we got more bombs out of it. Okay, so now we're completely out of bombs. This would have been a great opportunity to use the Fool card, by the way. Okay, that guy's... I wish I had a familiar that synergized with God's Flesh and just crushed enemies on the regular. Why do we want these bombs? Well, I'm going to use them to hopefully get some more Spirit Hearts out of our lives here. Whiffed with like 8 God's Flesh shots in a row. I really don't think we got a great chance of getting boss rush. What makes me say that? Oh, maybe the fact that we have 18 minutes here. I've actually, like, I'll admit, I've been playing pretty poorly in Isaac so far, in recent memory. I have slumps from time to time. It's really easy to just say, oh, it's Gungeon. You've been playing too much Gungeon, or even, you know, you've been playing too much Dark Souls or something like that. But, and maybe there's some truth to that, but I tend to believe that it's, you know, fairly normal variance. You know, you have good times, you have bad times. You know, we have our share. But when you sing the lyrics to this old song, no one seems to care. Boom, 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 boom. That's, I don't remember the lyrics beyond that. Good times, bad times, you know, we had our share. I went a hump, bow, bow, when I had that out, when then no one really cares. We've all been there, right? We've all heard that song. That's not just me, surely. Alright, we're on the depths too. Probably a good time to say fuck boss rush. We got like less than, probably have like 15 seconds to get into the boss room. And then still have enough time to beat Mon. So this is not going to happen. Instead, focus on being intelligent. Don't take damage. I don't know why we would use that instead of Mr. Boom, but sure, whatever. Let's try this. Maybe we'll be able to get a magic mush or something out of this. Liberty Cap is probably better for us now. Pardon me, than anything else we have here. Luckdown kind of sucks, but, you know, life goes on. Good stat, but not the be-all, end-all. Alright, great opportunity to use a bomb here. God's Flesh is like it's a trick. It's a trick item. They're always trying to trick you. We could steal the items in here, which I actually... Oh, we got Crystal Maze, I guess. We could steal the items in there by using the Emperor card, which actually seems very sensible to me. Inside of our shop, though, we have More options. I think it's probably worth trying for. Get a Temperance card, which I guess makes it at least worthwhile to try this. We only paid 3 cents for the Temperance card. We got a luck upgrade and some decent amounts of money out of it, so I just donated as much as I could. Then we'll try the pill. The pill is pheromones. I don't think we really need the bomb, and if we were going to buy the bomb, rather than buying the bomb, we would buy remote detonator, of course. If you blow up the demon judgment, supposedly it gives you a better chance of getting a deal with the angel, which is something that I very much do not want right now. I mean, I'd love to have some HP, so I feel a little bit more confident in our deal with the devil ability, but oh, 2020 is too good to pass up. Makes me feel way less salty about probably not getting boss rush on this run, but yeah, 2020 plus a tear effect is a good recipe here, and our damage has not been bad. It's not been bad for most of the run. But the pack pickup really pushed it into overdrive. Oh my god, it's so nice of them to let me teleport here. And we're just gonna say, you know, that's it for the floor. I don't really want Demon's Tail. It's not yet. Guppy item. Oh, we did get a Guppy item, which effectively is HP. I kind of want to open that chest in the middle. Oh, this is a huge turnaround for us. I'm still gonna use the Emperor card. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, this is excellent. I don't think Mr. Boom is going to be very good for us on this room. To a certain extent, Mr. Boom has kind of exhausted its usefulness that it had in the early game, but it's still nice to use it occasionally on rooms for sure. What I'd really like to see is an all-stats upgrade, not just because, you know, damage and HP, but I'd also like to get some extra speed. That 1-speed upgrade is not holding it down for us. I think Polaroid. Down to the next floor. No black candles, so we could get a Curse of the Lost, not know where we're going, but if we don't, we have the maze, and then we're pretty confident that we understand what we're supposed to do. Probably should have been hit there, but lucky us. These are, I know I think I flip-flop on who my least favorite enemies are, but it's like actually these guys. Not only do they create creep, after they create creep, they become assholes who can only be hit in a certain phase of their lifespan. It's like the ultimate in dickery. And I'm not talking about, you know, the mouse ran up the clock. We'll open that, of course. Just want to see if our boss fight's over here, and it is. This is what I mean by our speed stat being pretty bad. I can't actually hang with these little turrets here, which is pretty horrible. But we finished this floor super quickly. Ah, but the curse room, though. Tell you what, we'll see if the curse room ends up being relevant. It will be relevant if we have to, or if we don't get a deal with the devil here. Let's put it that way. That's the easiest way to explain it. Probably shouldn't have even opened that. Not a good bomb. But shit happens. We still have 1 key. One day I'm gonna hit with these bombs, man. No deal with the devil? Okay, well, on the bright side, White Pony, it doesn't completely compensate for our bad speed stat, but it does allow me to kind of mitigate it at least somewhat. That 1 spirit art to check this. It'll probably pay for itself. It did. And then we got 3 flies. Oh, it's a bummer, dude. That's a bummer. Well, on the bright side, we have a very good chance of getting a deal with the devil on the next floor and hopefully extending this marathon streak to 4. Wow, wow. At least we did not get Curse of the Lost. And the boss fight. This is a weird looking floor. It's like strangely very even. Like it's not like it's like it looks like a letter F or something like that. I mean, okay, let's be real. I'll put that up there because someone's gonna screen cap that and be like, how the fuck does this look like a letter F? Okay, it doesn't really look like the letter F, but it looks like it's like 2 E's mashed together or something like that, you know? I'm aware of how the English language looks. I don't know how to speak it or use it to accomplish my goals, but I am aware at least of the physical shape and form of the letters. And as I learned from my illustrious career in biology, you know, morphology dictates function, at least on a protein-based level. So actually, the structure of a protein is indicative of its function. And there's a persistent rumor floating around that I'm actually intelligent, and I just want to take this opportunity to dispel that. I'm not intelligent. I'm a blubbering baby for the most part. However, for some reason, there were like 20 years of my life where my memory is a steel trap, and as a result, I remember the most inane shit. Like who played the brother on Home Improvement? That was not Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Obviously, that's Zachary Ty Bryan, you fucking idiot. It's almost as if you don't consider yourself a ZTB Dennis. I can't even say it, you know. But then you'd be like, what'd you have for breakfast yesterday? And I'm like, I don't remember. You know what, though? I actually do remember. I had oatmeal crisp, maple nut flavor. Hilarious. I didn't come up with the product, all right? I don't even like, oh, it's so Canadian of you. I don't even like the maple nut flavor that much, you goddamn scumbags. In fact, I consider myself a much larger fan of the almond flavor, but the maple nut flavor was on sale. And what can I say? Your boy loves a deal. I'm not going to take any of those. Arguably, the nail is a great choice there. But I don't want to give up our ability to fly, is the main reason here. This looks like a very even floor. Thoughts will rise like butterflies. Even floor. As you let it slip away. Down to down to down to down to down. You know, Guitar Hero 3, but also Pearl Jam's Black Album. Anyway. Yeah, dude, I would love to become Guppy. That's probably not the best way to handle, like, a job interview. Tell me, sir, why would you love to become Guppy? Oh, dude, maybe it would work for you, you know? I think that I'm not a master of job interviews. I've had them before, and I've gotten jobs before. It's been a while. I don't know how much the game's changed, you know, in the past half decade or so. But I always felt like what people fuck up on in job interviews, at least young people, don't have enthusiasm, you know? I was like, why do you want to work here? And I mean, in the back of your head, you're like, I fucking need money. I don't really care about Bank of America, but at the same time, you know, I've got relevant work experience and I need to pay my fucking bills. Why do you want to work at Bank of America? But, you know, you gotta not only, like, feign passion. I think, like, interviewers and people at companies in general, they want to see, like, real passion. And it might sound lame to be like, well, what are you passionate about? Oh, dude, I'm super into, like, the stocks and dividends market. I think you guys have high MERs that maybe we could work to lower and make ourselves more customer focused. And, you know, I'm really passionate about managing income and trying to help people achieve their financial goals. I think if you did that at the interview, they'd be like, whoa, this person's a loser. Let's hire them. They're not gonna call in sick because they've been partying. I'm just joking. I'm half joking there, but I really feel, you know, like, this is not like new culture. You know, you go back and talk to your parents and grandparents about this. But something, you know, that annoys me about being young sometimes is that it's cool to, like, not care. And you'd be like, hey, dude, maybe you should stop huffing gasoline. You know that's like eroding the lining of, you know, your respiratory tract. I don't care. I like it. It makes my head feel funny. You know you're gonna be like, you're gonna have horrible, you know, GERD, heartburn, maybe even a higher incidence for cancers and stuff like that when you get older. Whatever. That's 6 months from now. I don't care. And, oh, fuck me, Damien. You know, like, this is the culture that we propagate for ourselves here. Well, this is kind of a whiff, but I'm happy to have the relic, I suppose. We really, and I'm guilty of this sometimes as well, you know? We have, like, an anti-intellectual bias sometimes. We're like, hey, Tony, what'd you do with your weekend? Oh, you know, I was mowing my lawn, I power washed my deck, and I built a spice rack for my wife. That's sweet, Tony. What'd you do on the weekend, Jeremy? Oh, my Lego Mindstorms came in, so I built a sick-ass robot that, you know, turns on my automatic cat toy at night. So this is not based on a true story or anything. Turns on my cat toy at night every 45 minutes so that my cats don't get bored and then they don't try to wake us up. Wow, Jeremy, you're a fucking nerd. Way to be a nerd, Jeremy. Sorry, the work week's over on Friday. Why can't you be more like Dave and power wash your deck and build a spice rack instead of playing with Legos, you fucking dork? You know, if this is, you know, in Kanye West's magnum opus Runaway, he's like, let's have a toast for the douchebags. Let's have a toast for the assholes. And I'm like, let's have a toast for the people who are like, you know, really passionate about construction safety. You know how many lives you've probably saved in your industry? Tons. Let's have a toast for the people, the chemical engineers that came up with the insulation that goes in a firefighter's jacket so that it doesn't fucking like melt to their skin when they rescue a baby from a burning building. Let's have a toast to those people, man. Let's have a toast to the accountant who's very passionate about what he's doing and managing the money of his clients. Let's also have a toast to the douchebag and the assholes, though. If you had my enduring legacy on YouTube, I don't want it to be references just to the, of course, 90s favorite boy band before 4. I want it to be, this message of, you know, you should, if you are a dork, a geek, wear it on your sleeve, man. Not only people like, they're like, well, you know, Jeremy only bullies you because, he's jealous, and one day you're gonna be the next Bill Gates, and the nerds are gonna rule the world. You know, that's like largely actually true. But at the same time, with the dope rhymes that I kick, you know and I know we float some more funky shit. But at the same time, you should be a nerd just because being a nerd's cool, man. Maybe it's not that cool in like a high school, but you know what's like super not cool? Like being cool in high school. I was like 50% cool in high school, and that was like even a little bit too much for me, honestly. What's cool is the dude who spends his Friday night, you know, learning how to make a prototype in JavaScript or something like that. Like, that's cool, man. As you get older, passion becomes the currency of coolness. When you're young, it's aloofness. Hey, you failed English, you're not gonna get into college. I don't care. You know, that's like, oh my god, he's like immune to the pressures of the world. Nah, he's just a lazy dude. He's got no passion. Passion is what is gonna sell you, man. It's gonna take you places. If you're passionate about bagging groceries, you're trying to get the most efficient grocery bagging of all time, that's fucking cool, dude. You're iterating on a process and trying to make the world a better place, and we could use more of that. So you know what? Cheers to you. You don't get cheers enough. This has been a very soapboxy finish to this episode, but we've kind of, you know, we've been wearing it on our sleeve that this is going to be a victory for a little bit of time here. I hate the stigmatization of passion, man. And I think it's bullshit that the coolest thing you can do when you're young is not care about something. The coolest thing is care deeply about something and risk possibly being hurt. That's the ticket right there. Shoot for the moon and you may land amongst the stars and hopefully not just, you know, burn up in the Earth's atmosphere and have to have a closed casket funeral because your body looks like a meteor. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Hey everybody, welcome back. Northern Lion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. I'm a little down because I got a win, but I must have double tapped on start recording, which did a little quick start and then stop, so we're on a 1 streak, but you didn't see the win. It was a good one, 2GNA AKV8, but at the same time, it was also, it was a guppy run, so if you're the kind of person who's not into seeing dank-ass guppy dreams come true, then you're probably, you know, happy you missed it, honestly. Or maybe you'd say you didn't miss it at all. Ha 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 ha. But sincerely, I'm disappointed and I'm apologetic as well. I'm sorry that it happens. I can't say it won't happen again. You know, it's new recording software. I got no idea if it's endemic or not endemic. I got no idea. For now, I'm looking, I'm paranoid. I've started an episode, it has shown up in my hard drive. Luckily, we have a lot of time to talk about bullshit like this because we have absolutely no damage whatsoever right now. Well, our damage stat is 2, not great, but our the real piss off is that our tier stat is just abysmal right now. If we can just if we can just please keep gaining 1 bomb per room. All is forgiven. That's all I ask. Give me 1 bomb per room. You can count Bob's Rotten Head once every 3 rooms in that equation, and then I can at least still keep attacking enemies and doing damage and possibly keeping my sanity here. I'll use as many bombs as is necessary to take out Duke of Flies, which, to be honest with you, is probably not that many bombs. 2 bombs will seem to get the job done here. And as sad as this is, I'm like, we gotta use Samson's Chain to deal the majority of our damage. Torn Photo is really good. It starts our march towards possible relevance here. Let's come up. Oh, the sneeze. The sneeze is real. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Good shit, good shit. Okay. I think that's deceptive. Like, when it says 2 damage, I don't trust it. I have no reason to distrust it except that it seems like it's wrong, which I guess is a good reason. We get money equals power. Okay. We get money equals power. Okay, the good thing about money equals power is that eventually this is probably going to be sweet as heck for us. It's going to be a delicious little strawberry ice cream of flavor. The bad thing about it is that it doesn't provide us most of the time with immediate benefits. However, that can change. I'm almost thinking that maybe, well, first off, we should definitely try to find our secret room. I'm also feeling like, you know, if we